Learning English grammar can seem daunting, but breaking it down into manageable parts makes it easier. Start by familiarizing yourself with the basic parts of speech: nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Understanding how these components function within sentences is essential. Next, practice sentence structure, focusing on subjects, predicates, and objects. This foundation will help you construct coherent sentences. Read regularly to see grammar in context. Pay attention to how different authors use language. Make notes of unfamiliar grammatical structures and look them up. Engaging with varied materials, such as books, articles, and essays, exposes you to diverse writing styles. Use grammar workbooks or online resources that offer exercises and explanations. These tools provide structured practice, helping reinforce what you learn. Additionally, watch educational videos or listen to podcasts about grammar concepts. These formats can make learning more enjoyable and accessible. Practice writing by keeping a journal or blog. This encourages you to apply grammar rules actively. Seek feedback from peers or teachers to identify areas for improvement. Engage in conversations with fluent speakers. This real-life practice helps reinforce grammatical concepts naturally. Take advantage of grammar apps that offer interactive exercises and quizzes. These can be a fun way to reinforce your knowledge. Lastly, be patient with yourself. Learning grammar is a gradual process. Celebrate your progress, and remember that mistakes are part of learning. Keep practicing, and over time, you'll gain confidence and proficiency in English grammar. Learning English grammar is crucial for vocabulary development for several reasons. First, grammar provides the framework that helps you understand how words interact within sentences. When you know the rules governing sentence structure, you can use vocabulary more effectively, ensuring your communication is clear and coherent. Second, understanding grammar enhances your ability to use words in context. For example, knowing how to correctly use verb tenses allows you to convey time accurately, while mastering subject-verb agreement ensures that your sentences are grammatically sound. This knowledge enables you to choose the right words for the right situations, enriching your vocabulary usage. Third, grammar helps you expand your vocabulary through the understanding of word forms. Many words can function as different parts of speech. For example, happy is an adjective, while happiness is a noun. Grasping these transformations enhances your lexical range and allows you to express yourself in more nuanced ways. Additionally, a solid grasp of grammar aids in recognizing idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs. These expressions often have meanings that cannot be derived from the individual words, so understanding how they fit grammatically can deepen your comprehension and usage of vocabulary. Moreover, when you learn grammar rules, you become more adept at reading and writing. This proficiency exposes you to new vocabulary in context, allowing you to see how words are used in various grammatical structures. The more you read and write, the more vocabulary you can absorb and retain. Lastly, mastering grammar boosts your confidence in both spoken and written communication. When you know how to construct sentences correctly, you're more likely to experiment with new words and expressions, facilitating a more extensive vocabulary. Familiarize yourself with basic parts of speech: nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Understanding these fundamental elements is crucial, as they form the building blocks of sentences. Nouns name people, places, or things. Verbs express actions or states of being. Adjectives describe nouns, and adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Mastering these categories helps you recognize their roles in sentences and improves your overall language comprehension. Understand sentence structure, focusing on subjects, predicates, and objects. Every sentence has a subject, what or whom the sentence is about, and a predicate, what is said about the subject. Objects can be direct or indirect, receiving the action of the verb. Grasping this structure allows you to construct clear and coherent sentences, enhancing both your writing and speaking skills. Read regularly to see grammar in context and observe different writing styles. Exposure to varied materials, such as novels, articles, and essays, helps you internalize grammar rules naturally. Pay attention to sentence length, punctuation, and how authors construct their arguments. This will improve your ability to recognize correct usage and inspire your own writing. Take notes on unfamiliar grammatical structures and look them up. Whenever you encounter a grammar rule or structure you don't understand, jot it down. Research it further through grammar guides or trusted online resources. This proactive approach deepens your understanding and expands your grammatical toolkit. Use grammar workbooks or online resources for structured exercises and explanations. Many workbooks are designed to progressively introduce grammar concepts, making them an effective tool for learners. Online resources often provide interactive exercises that offer immediate feedback, reinforcing your learning through practice. Watch educational videos or listen to podcasts about grammar concepts. Visual and auditory learning can enhance your understanding of grammar. Many online platforms offer engaging content that explains complex rules in simple terms. These resources can make learning feel more dynamic and less overwhelming. Practice writing in a journal or blog to apply grammar rules actively. Regular writing helps you implement the grammar concepts you learn. It allows for experimentation with new structures and vocabulary. Over time, reviewing your past entries can show your progress and areas needing improvement. Seek feedback from peers or teachers to identify areas for improvement. Sharing your writing with others can provide fresh perspectives. Constructive criticism helps you understand your mistakes and learn from them, which is vital for growth. Engage in conversations with fluent speakers to reinforce grammar naturally. Speaking with others allows you to practice grammar in real time. Pay attention to how they construct sentences and ask for clarification if needed. This interaction enhances your conversational skills and confidence. Use grammar apps for interactive exercises and quizzes. Many apps gamify grammar learning, making it fun and engaging. They often cater to different skill levels, allowing you to progress at your own pace while tracking your improvements. Break complex rules into smaller, manageable parts for easier understanding. When faced with complicated grammar rules, deconstruct them into simpler components. Tackle one aspect at a time, such as verb tenses or punctuation, which can prevent overwhelm and facilitate better retention. Review and revise your writing to spot and correct grammatical errors. Editing your work is essential for reinforcing grammar rules. As you revise, look for common mistakes you tend to make and focus on correcting them. This practice builds a habit of careful proofreading. Learn common grammar pitfalls, such as subject-verb agreement and tense consistency. Identifying frequent errors in your writing can help you avoid them in the future. Create a checklist of these pitfalls to reference when writing and editing your work. Set specific goals for your grammar learning, tracking your progress over time. Establish measurable objectives, such as mastering a particular tense or writing a certain number of pages each week. Regularly reviewing your progress can motivate you and help you stay focused on your learning journey. Be patient with yourself and embrace mistakes as part of the learning process. Language acquisition takes time, and making errors is a natural part of that journey. Instead of viewing mistakes negatively, see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and remain committed to continuous improvement. English grammar plays a crucial role in learning the language, influencing various aspects of communication, comprehension, and expression. It provides the rules and frameworks that dictate how words combine to form sentences. By grasping concepts like subjects, predicates, and objects, learners can construct sentences that convey clear meanings. For example, knowing that a subject typically precedes the verb allows students to avoid confusion in their writing and speaking. This foundational knowledge is essential for both basic communication and more complex expressions. Mastery of grammar aids in expressing ideas clearly. Well-structured sentences help prevent misunderstandings. For instance, correct use of punctuation, such as commas and periods, can drastically change the meaning of a sentence. A grammatically sound sentence not only conveys a message but also makes it easier for listeners or readers to follow the flow of thought. A solid understanding of grammar enhances reading skills. Learners who are familiar with grammatical structures can navigate complex sentences more easily, identifying main ideas, supporting details, and the relationships between them. This comprehension is particularly important when dealing with academic texts, where advanced grammar is often used to convey intricate arguments. Understanding grammar enables learners to dissect these structures, enhancing their analytical skills. Grammar is essential for producing well-organized and impactful writing. Whether crafting essays, reports, or creative pieces, a strong grasp of grammatical rules allows learners to present their ideas logically and persuasively. It helps in structuring paragraphs, using transitions effectively, and ensuring that each sentence contributes to the overall message. Moreover, good grammar makes a writer appear more credible and professional, which is especially important in academic and business contexts. Grammar also plays a significant role in expanding vocabulary. Understanding how words can function differently based on their grammatical roles, for example, nouns can become verbs, enables learners to experiment with language more creatively. This knowledge encourages learners to use synonyms, antonyms, and various forms of words, enriching their vocabulary and enhancing their expressive capabilities. One of the most critical aspects of English grammar is mastering verb tenses, which indicate the timing of actions. Knowing how to use past, present, and future tenses accurately allows learners to communicate effectively about time-related concepts. This skill is essential not only in conversation but also in storytelling and narrative writing, where the sequence of events matters greatly. Confidence in using a language often stems from a solid understanding of its grammar. When learners feel competent in their grammar skills, they are more willing to engage in conversations, participate in discussions, and take risks in their language use. This increased confidence fosters fluency, as learners practice speaking and writing without the fear of making mistakes. Grammar often reflects cultural nuances and variations in communication styles. By learning grammar, students gain insight into how language functions in different contexts, which can be crucial for effective cross-cultural communication. Understanding formal and informal usage, for instance, prepares learners to adapt their language according to the audience and situation. Mastering English grammar lays a foundation for ongoing language development. As learners progress, they can explore more advanced grammatical concepts and styles, deepening their understanding of the language. This continual learning process enhances their ability to engage with literature, academic texts, and professional materials, making them more effective communicators. Pronunciation is essential because it directly influences clarity and understanding in spoken communication. Proper pronunciation ensures that words are articulated correctly, allowing listeners to grasp the intended meaning. For example, the words ship and sheep differ only in vowel sounds, but mispronouncing them can lead to confusion. This highlights the importance of mastering the sounds of the language, including consonants, vowels, intonation, and stress patterns. Good pronunciation also enhances fluency. When learners pronounce words accurately, they can speak more smoothly and naturally, which fosters confidence in their speaking abilities. This fluency is crucial for engaging in conversations, participating in discussions, and expressing thoughts without hesitation. Moreover, effective pronunciation aids in listening comprehension. When learners can accurately recognize the sounds and rhythms of English, they can better understand spoken language in various contexts, whether in casual conversation, lectures, or media. Furthermore, pronunciation often reflects a speaker's level of proficiency. Clear pronunciation can improve a learner's credibility, making them appear more knowledgeable and professional. This can be especially important in academic or business settings, where effective communication is key to success. Therefore, focusing on pronunciation not only enhances interpersonal communication but also impacts social and professional opportunities. Grammar is another foundational element in learning English, providing the structure needed for coherent and meaningful expression. Understanding grammar involves knowing how to use different parts of speech in nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs and how to combine them to form sentences. A solid grasp of grammatical rules enables learners to construct sentences that convey precise meanings, making their communication more effective. For instance, understanding subject-verb agreement ensures that sentences are grammatically correct, thereby avoiding confusion. Grammar also aids in understanding the relationships between words in a sentence. This understanding is crucial for both speaking and writing, as it allows learners to convey complex ideas clearly. Moreover, grammar enhances critical thinking and analytical skills, as learners must consider how best to organize their thoughts and express them logically. In writing, good grammar is especially important. It ensures that written communication is clear, polished, and professional. Mistakes in grammar can detract from the message and reduce the writer's credibility. Therefore, mastering grammar not only improves language proficiency but also fosters effective communication in academic and professional settings. Vocabulary is the cornerstone of language learning, providing the words necessary to express thoughts, ideas, and emotions. A rich vocabulary enables learners to communicate with precision and creativity. The ability to choose the right word for the right context is essential for effective communication. For instance, knowing synonyms and antonyms allows learners to express similar ideas in varied ways, enhancing their language richness and flexibility. Vocabulary development is closely linked to grammar. Understanding how words function in sentences, such as knowing when to use a noun versus a verb, enhances overall communication. Additionally, a broad vocabulary improves reading comprehension. When learners encounter new words in context, they can infer meanings and understand complex texts more readily. This comprehension is vital for engaging with literature, academic materials, and everyday media. Moreover, vocabulary acquisition is a lifelong process. The more words learners know, the better equipped they are to express themselves in different situations. Expanding vocabulary through reading, conversation, and writing fosters a deeper understanding of the language and encourages learners to engage more fully with their surroundings. Together, pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary form a cohesive framework for mastering English. Proficient pronunciation ensures clarity and facilitates smooth communication, while grammar provides the necessary structure for coherent expression. A well-developed vocabulary enriches communication and allows for greater depth and nuance in expression. Mastering these elements is crucial for achieving fluency, confidence, and the ability to engage effectively in various contexts. Ultimately, focusing on pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary is essential for anyone striving to learn and use English proficiently, empowering them to communicate successfully in both personal and professional environments. Learning English grammar is essential for anyone looking to communicate effectively in the language. It involves understanding the rules that govern how words combine to form sentences, conveying clear meanings and facilitating effective communication. Here are some key aspects to consider when learning English grammar. The title parts of speech refers to the categories of words in English that serve different grammatical functions. Understanding these parts is fundamental to mastering English grammar and effective communication. Here's an expanded exploration of each part of speech. Nouns are words that name people, places, things, or ideas. They can be classified into various types, including common nouns, for example, dog, city, proper nouns, for example, Alice, London, concrete nouns, for example, apple, car, and abstract nouns, for example, happiness, freedom. Nouns can also function as subjects, objects, or complements in sentences. Verbs express actions, states of being, or occurrences. They are vital for constructing meaningful sentences. Verbs can be classified into action verbs, for example, run, think, linking verbs, for example, is, seem, and auxiliary, or helping, verbs, for example, have, will. Understanding verb tenses is crucial, as they indicate the time of the action or state, for example, past, present, future. Adjectives describe or modify nouns, providing additional information about their qualities, quantities, or characteristics. For instance, in the phrase the blue car, blue is an adjective describing the noun car. Adjectives can be categorized as descriptive, for example, happy, large, Quantitative, for example, some, many, or demonstrative, for example, this, those. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs, often indicating how, when, where, or to what extent an action occurs. For example, in she runs quickly, quickly is an adverb modifying the verb runs. Adverbs can provide details about manner, for example, carefully, time, for example, yesterday, place, for example, here, or degree, for example, very. Pronouns are words that replace nouns to avoid repetition and simplify sentences. Common types include personal pronouns, for example, he, she, it, possessive pronouns, for example, his, hers, relative pronouns, for example, who, which, and demonstrative pronouns, for example, this, that. Proper use of pronouns helps maintain clarity in communication. Prepositions are words that show relationships between nouns, or pronouns, and other words in a sentence, often indicating direction, location, time, or manner. Examples include in, on, at, between, and during. Prepositional phrases, for example, in the park, can add important context to sentences. Conjunctions connect words, phrases, or clauses, helping to create complex sentences. They can be classified as coordinating conjunctions, for example, and, but, or, which link similar elements. Subordinating conjunctions, for example, because, although, which introduce dependent clauses, and correlative conjunctions, for example, either ... or, neither ... nor, which work in pairs. Interjections are words or phrases that express strong emotions or sudden feelings, often standing alone. Examples include wow, oh no, and hooray. Interjections can convey excitement, surprise, frustration, or joy, adding emphasis to spoken or written language. The title sentence structure refers to the way in which words, phrases, and clauses are organized to form sentences in English. Understanding sentence structure is fundamental to effective communication, as it influences clarity, coherence, and meaning. Here's a deeper exploration of various aspects of sentence structure. At its most basic level, a sentence typically consists of a subject and a predicate. The subject tells us who or what the sentence is about, while the predicate provides information about the subject, often including a verb and additional details. For example, in the sentence "the cat sleeps," the cat is the subject, and sleeps is the predicate. Mastering this fundamental structure is essential for creating clear and grammatically correct sentences. Sentences can be classified into four main types based on their structure: simple, compound, complex, and compound complex. Simple sentences contain a single independent clause and express a complete thought, for example, she reads every day. Compound sentences consist of two or more independent clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions, for example, I wanted to go for a walk, but it started to rain. Complex sentences contain an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses, which provide additional information, for example, although it was raining, I decided to go for a walk. Compound complex sentences combine elements of both compound and complex sentences, containing multiple independent clauses and at least one dependent clause, for example, I wanted to go for a walk, but I stayed home because it was raining. Understanding these types helps learners construct more varied and interesting sentences. The arrangement of words within a sentence is also crucial. English typically follows a subject-verb-object (SVO) order. For instance, in the sentence "The teacher, subject, explains, verb, the lesson, object," the structure clearly indicates the action and its recipient. Deviations from this order can lead to confusion or ambiguity. For example, the lesson explains, the teacher alters the intended meaning and disrupts clarity. Modifiers play a significant role in sentence structure as well. Adjectives and adverbs provide additional information, enhancing the meaning of nouns and verbs, respectively. Proper placement of modifiers is essential to avoid ambiguity. For instance, in the sentence "She almost drove her kids to school," the placement of almost suggests that she didn't actually drive them, while "She drove her kids almost to school" indicates she stopped just short of the school. This highlights the importance of careful word placement in conveying accurate meanings. Punctuation also significantly impacts sentence structure. It helps clarify relationships between ideas and indicates pauses in speech. For example, commas can separate items in a list, while semicolons can connect closely related independent clauses. Correct punctuation enhances readability and ensures that the intended meaning is conveyed. Sentence variety is essential for engaging writing and effective communication. Using a mix of sentence type as a simple, compound, and complex can help maintain the reader's interest and emphasize different ideas. Varying sentence length and structure can also enhance the flow of writing, making it more dynamic and expressive. Understanding coordination and subordination is key to sentence structure as well. Coordinating conjunctions, like and, but, or, connect similar elements, while subordinating conjunctions, like because, although, if, introduce dependent clauses that add complexity to sentences. Mastering these connections allows learners to create more sophisticated sentences and convey relationships between ideas. The title verb tenses refers to the various forms that verbs take to indicate the timing of actions, events, or states of being. Mastering verb tenses is essential for effective communication in English, as it allows speakers and writers to convey when something happens, whether in the past, present, or future. Present tenses describe actions happening now or habitual actions. The simple present tense is used for general truths or repeated actions, as in "She reads every day." The present continuous, or present progressive, tense indicates ongoing actions at the moment of speaking, such as "She is reading right now." The present perfect tense connects past actions to the present, often indicating relevance or completion, as in "She has read 5 books this month." The present perfect continuous tense emphasizes the duration of an ongoing action that started in the past and continues into the present, as in "She has been reading for 2 hours. Past tenses describe actions that have already occurred. The simple past tense is used for completed actions in the past, such as "She read a book yesterday." The past continuous tense indicates actions that were ongoing at a specific time in the past, exemplified by "She was reading when I called." The past perfect tense describes actions that occurred before another past action, as in "She had read the book before the meeting." The past perfect continuous tense highlights the duration of an action up to a certain point in the past, for example, "She had been reading for 2 hours when the meeting started." Future tenses describe actions that will occur. The simple future tense indicates actions that will happen at a later time, as in "She will read the book tomorrow." The future continuous tense describes actions that will be ongoing at a specific future time, such as she will be reading at 8 p.m. The future perfect tense indicates actions that will be completed before a specific future time, exemplified by she will have read the book by the time you arrive. The future perfect continuous tense emphasizes the duration of an action leading up to a future point in time, as in she will have been reading for 2 hours by 8 p.m. Mastering verb tenses is crucial for several reasons. First, it allows for precise communication. By using the correct tense, speakers can convey exactly when an action takes place, avoiding confusion. For instance, saying "I will eat" clearly indicates a future action, while "I ate" refers to a past event. Second, verb tenses help establish context and timelines in narratives. In storytelling or reporting events, using different tenses allows the speaker to weave together past, present, and future events, making the narrative more engaging and coherent. For example, a story might shift between past and present tenses to create tension or highlight character development. Third, verb tenses contribute to grammatical accuracy. Using the correct tense demonstrates a strong command of the language and enhances the speaker's credibility. In academic or professional settings, proper tense usage is often expected, as it reflects attention to detail and understanding of the language. Learners of English often face challenges with verb tenses, particularly when it comes to distinguishing between similar forms. For example, the difference between "I have eaten," present perfect, and "I ate," simple past, can be subtle but significant. Practicing these distinctions through exercises, speaking, and writing can help solidify understanding. Another common challenge is mastering irregular verbs, which do not follow standard conjugation rules. For instance, the past tense of go is went, which learners must memorize. Engaging with these verbs in context through reading, conversation, and writing can aid in retention and correct usage. Subject-verb agreement is a fundamental aspect of English grammar that dictates how subjects and verbs must correspond in number and person. Mastering this concept is essential for constructing grammatically correct sentences and ensuring clarity in communication. At its core, subject-verb agreement requires that singular subjects pair with singular verbs, while plural subjects must be matched with plural verbs. For instance, in the sentence "the dog barks," dog is singular, so the verb barks is also in the singular form. Conversely, in the dogs bark, dogs is plural, necessitating the plural verb bark. This basic rule is crucial for maintaining coherence and preventing confusion in writing and speaking. Subject-verb agreement can become more complex in certain contexts, particularly when dealing with compound subjects. When two or more subjects are connected by "and," the verb usually takes the plural form, as in "the cat and the dog play together." However, if the subjects are joined by or nor, the verb should agree with the closest subject. For example, either the teacher or the students are responsible for the project, where students is the nearest subject, so the plural verb are is used. Indefinite pronouns, such as everyone, someone, or each, can also create challenges in subject-verb agreement. These pronouns are considered singular and require singular verbs. For example, everyone is invited to the party. On the other hand, pronouns like many, few, and several are plural and take plural verbs, as in "the many are participating in the event." Collective nouns, which refer to a group of individuals or things, can cause confusion regarding agreement. Words like team, group, and family can be singular or plural depending on the context. In American English, collective nouns are often treated as singular when the group is acting as a single unit, such as in the team wins the championship. However, if the focus is on the individual members acting separately, a plural verb is used, as in the team are arguing among thems.